girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just to trick me, trick me, trick me, trick me. 'Cause baby girl, you are so easily pretty. The only reason that I can do tonight is 'cause I know you were invited. The only reason that the stresses can die is 'cause I thought that you would like it. I'm only gone for the secret outside, because I want you to like that. The only reason I can do tonight is because I really like you, and I can no longer hide it. Want to remember your mind, the laces that goes over your digest. Why just tell me that you feel like I do?
Hi, this is Jessica Javens Talk. This is season 1. Welcome. This is a podcast about you creating the life that you truly love. So, welcome here to this new moment that we're talking to this wonderful lady, a person who she does all kinds of things. I was so impressed. She is an entrepreneur, very hardworking woman that shines in every aspect of her life. But we came down to the point where we realized that one of the main reasons why she's able to do all of this and do it amazingly, beautifully done, giving her all in every aspect of it and enjoying everything, like she literally cannot pick which one is her favorite. So we're going to be talking about resilience. Please welcome Katina. And how are you, Katina?
I am fabulous, Jessica, and thank you for having me on the show. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing all of that positive energy in
Thank
and
you.
wanting to help other people to get inspired by you and how you were able to be successful. So tell us first a little bit about you.
Okay, my name is Katina Ann, and I am actually an entrepreneur. So there's a lot of different things that I do, but I guess the main thing I can focus on is my doctoral studies. That puts me in a lot of um, range to be able to connect with a lot of people, motivate people, inspire people in many different ways. So that's kind of one of my moments to shine wherever I go and where I'm at. So, and it allows me to meet positive people, like meeting you and Andre. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. So that's my moment to shine. I'm able to connect with a lot of different people in a lot of places.
Okay, so Katina, I would love to know out of all of the different qualities that you probably implement, there is this one specific that you really have a passion in talking about, resilience. Tell us a little bit why this is so important for you. Where does this come from?
I think that the passion comes from just being able to have a multifaceted arena that I do, and then just like my doctoral studies, just the love of just meeting different people and who I am. I think that allows for me to continue to be resilient. I think sometimes, we step back and we get comfortable and then we're stagnant and it's just like, oh, okay, I done that and I did this. But for me, it's energy, it's motivation. So I think the doctoral studies for me is like one that really motivates me to continue. I meet a lot of great people, such as yourself and Andre, and it just gives me that passion, knowing that I'm connecting with people, I'm resilient about what I do, what I've done in the past, and I just keep going with it. It's fun. It's fun for me.
That's good. I don't think I ever put the word resilience with energy together.
Yeah.
You're right. It makes perfect sense. I love that. So how would you actually define the word resilience?
Resilience is someone who's able to actually push through any obstacle, being able to, if there's, whether it's a good thing or if it's a bad thing, you're able to surpass the blocks, the obstacles, know and understand your worth and who you are. And that's being resilient. To me, that's resilient. You're bringing your A game, whether it's a F or a G or a D, you're just bringing your game and being in that mindset and holding that mindset to me is resilient. You're going to break barriers that you never thought you could, and you're going to continue to break those barriers no matter what's in front of you. So that's my definition of resilience.
That's such an important thing for you to be able to truly love your life is for you to develop that that vision. And it's interesting that in order for you to do that, you need to have a clear understanding of what you want, or maybe where you want to go. Not the details, maybe the house, or even focusing on the
Yeah.
possible obstacles, which many times we don't know what they're going to be. They can come in many
Right.
different shapes and forms. But I think it's so important because once you have that, you fall in love with that dream or that desire
Yes.
of what you want to do and where you want to go, that helps you to become resilient.
Yes.
That way you have that focus so sharp that no matter what happens, you want to get there. So now you're going to align your actions all towards this vision and this dream to be achieved. Do you agree?
I 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Tell me about a moment, Katina, that specific, maybe one of the most difficult moments in your life that you saw that you had to pull that resilience out and you were able to actually apply it. But tell us the story behind it. Share that with our listeners.
All right. So I'm also a nursing home administrator by trade. And this is one of the fun ones that I'll never ever forget. So I'm going to share it here as well. So being in a small area, not very many people, I was in a facility that I had to come help, get things straightened up for the state, and staffing was a mess. And, it was just like, oh my gosh, what do we do with this? And, as a company, they're looking at you, to motivate your staff, which is hundreds of people, to connect and being able not only to be resilient and connecting with the people, but then also fixing the problems in the facility. And so we had maybe an 80% agency staff that we hire comes in, do the work, taking care of human beings, which is people, families, loved ones in a nursing facility. And then the other, 15% was our staff. So it's like, okay, we got our staff, we got them. They don't know a lot about who we are. So it makes you nervous, because anything can happen.
Mhm.
And so I think the biggest moment for me is that I love, and I'll never forget it, is that within the 3-month period, we were able to remove all agency out of the facility, bring in our own staff, and be able to have the consistency to take care of those people. And with that part of having that resilient mindset in order to connect and get it done, I'll never forget it. So that's the
Wow.
moment that I'll never forget.
What an accomplishment. I cannot even imagine how much work that might have been. And definitely, you probably could not do it without resilience. I did come from many different backgrounds, but one of my main ones, which is in the corporate world, financial business, I remember that I had to tap in. And what's interesting about tapping into that resilience is that every time that you do it, it becomes larger and stronger.
Yes.
And you don't know exactly what that is by somebody telling you. You actually have to go through it to exactly understand and feel that. And that's one of the reasons why, Katina, that I'm loving life right now, is because of being able to want to see and to continue to allow yourself to practice that regardless of your situation, conditions, and circumstances that are always going to be many things that you have no control over.
I love that. And that is so true. And, as you say, in the corporate mindset, in the corporate world, when you're there, you really can't see the obstacles in the facilities. It's us, telling, corporate level, hey, this is what's happening. And so for you to be able to be on that spectrum and hear you, I mean, you have to trust people, right? So you have to trust what I'm saying to you. And then you're like, okay, is this correct? I can see the financials, I can see this.
Uh-huh.
But am I really getting the real deal behind this? Because sometimes you really don't. And I think that's so important in the corporate world that you inspire me also just hearing your story, because you saw that and it resonates with you. And I mean, just listening to you, it's just like, oh my gosh, she knows what I'm talking about. It's real out there. It's
Uh-huh.
real. And if you don't have that resilient mindset, to be able to communicate that, it's hard. It's hard. So
Absolutely.
I love it.
And I know that you're probably with the type of energy that you have and the way that you live your life and make your decisions, you're surrounded by people with possibly the same mindset But I was just curious to know, have you seen in your environment, in the areas that you work, I know that you work in different areas. You're all around the United States, so you get to, like you said, meet a lot of people. So do you do you find that this quality is something that people are struggling to have?
I do. I find, I'm going to take it back a little bit. I find that so growing up in life as a kid, it was instilled in me. So it was instilled in me. I'm not going to lose that mindset. I'm not going to lose that motivation, resiliency, or whatever. But in others, it has to come from within them. We can't teach it, we can't give it to them. So I do find a lot that people struggle with that, whether it's just the lack of the confidence or the lack of the unknown or not knowing. It could be a lot of different things. It could be, how they were brought up, or did someone give them, that advice in order to be able to be resilient and to say, hey, you don't give up when the tough gets going, you don't get going. So it kind of depends on the person, and it depends on how you were raised, how you grew up, and are you going to carry that when you get older? So a lot of it is having positive people around you that's going to continue to motivate you. And the other part is, do you really want to? So, it's like a 50-50. Are you going to carry that with you?
Yeah, yeah. And know and realize that you can also develop that. It's a
Yeah.
constant thing. I used to have a very um like measured amount of what I could be on something.
Yeah.
And for instance, oh, I have this quality, and okay, I'm grateful, for instance, and I'm a very grateful person. I do meditation, I pray, or whatever I've been doing my entire life, and I think what I'm doing is good, and I'm doing it. I didn't realize until I actually went through the path that there are deeper levels of
Yeah.
gratefulness, just like there is of resilience. So I think that the key here is not to settle, you
Not to
know,
settle.
not to settle. I have four teenagers, and I'm thinking about these young people who are on their way to adulthood and a lot of responsibilities and maturity.
Yeah.
And I talked today with people on our show about maturity, about frontal lobe development, all of that
Yes.
stuff, because it takes time. And on a time of everything is now, especially for the young kids, everything is on a click, everything is instant, everything is delivered, everything, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's you don't have to put the work like we used to before as much in that sense. And there is a false belief that's being built that you can do that with other things, right? So the same way
Right.
that that's fast. Okay, so I want to learn about something. Oh no, this video is a 5 minute long to learn this. Forget it, too long, right? So we
Absolutely.
want the magic thing. We want
Yeah.
the magic pill. Oh, I thought we lost you. So um we want everything now, we want everything to be instant gratification, and although that's always been maybe a situation, humans, we our brain looks for that. That's why we just to shortcut this normal. It's now in a way, I think, getting out of control, and then that is affecting the development of those qualities that are essential to love your life, to actually feel satisfied, to actually have
Wow.
healthy relationships. It affects everything. What do you think?
Oh, wow. So, one of my many things that I do, I'm actually a therapist by trade.
Wow.
And yeah, and I see over 50 something clients a month. And when you speak about everything is a click, everything is an instant gratification, you don't know how many times I hear, and I'm talking ages from 6 all the way up to in their 70s. And it's kind of like, oh, I can just go on YouTube and do that. Or, oh, that's just that. No, I can just do that. I can just do this. And it's like, what happened to the good old days to where you knew where you were, you knew where your cognitive state was, and you didn't have to rely so much on the internet or the clicks or things flowing around social media. And it's really causing a concern these days. People are they're out of touch, they're out of in tune to like reality. And so it's more of when I talk to them, it's more of, "Oh, no, I didn't know about that." I'm like, how did you not know about that? You know, it's life. And I think it's making people not even bother to even use this, which is their mind, the ability to think for themselves. And I think that's so far gone these days, just listening to even when you look at 6-year-old kids, it's concerning because as they grow older, it's just going to get worse, you know, and it's a shame. It's a
Wow.
shame. Everything right now is instant gratification at this point. There's no reality, no reality at all.
And it's yeah, and because of so much media, there is a false
Yeah,
sense of reality
yeah,
that is
it is.
built, and people underestimate it. I remember when my kids were small, I used to go to this, I'm going back now 10 years at least, and going to places like a restaurant or something, and everybody was on the phone. And this is before the
Yes,
pandemic. Like the pandemic just made things very difficult to be without electronics, especially with kids having to do school and all that. But um, I remember that it was a lot of work for my four children, all close in age, to be quiet. The best thing for me would be give them the screen. Then they're entertained. But I remember
yeah.
that at the time, my husband and I decided we're not doing this. I don't care how much work it's going to be. We're going to be engaging and we're not going to be on our screens. And you're going to a restaurant, you pay more than you would to do it yourself because you're paying for the experience of being on your phone. You know what I'm saying?
All the time, all the time.
Right. So, and it becomes in a way an addiction because you get used to and you
Yeah,
create habits. We're creatures of habits. So it becomes that thing. You always have to check, you always have to go. And
yeah,
it's something that you have to have a self-discipline, and that's another thing that it takes you, you know, to grow that quality. You're not going to have it as a child. You're going to have to practice that. But if you're constantly distracted and you're not using your mind, your functions, your mindful functions, how are you
yeah.
going to develop that?
Absolutely. And I hear that from parents all the time. It's exactly what you said. You know, it's like, you know, even they go to school and then I get a phone call saying, okay, somebody got in trouble today because they were on their computer, you know, looking at other things besides doing their schoolwork. So they got a detention. And I don't know how many times I hear that just in the teenager, adolescence. And it's like, wow, is this really what our, you know, what academics is coming to? You know, they're giving them the ability to do the work, but at the same time, it's not used for the right things. So it's a problem for the parents, for parents, for you know kids. It's a problem for their siblings because one sibling could want to do the academics and you know the other one is like you know they're having so much trouble with them. They want the older one to help the younger one, and it's just this vicious circle of like what do we do? You know what do we do with this? So it's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah. So this you know, this channel, this podcast is about empowering people to actually
Yeah,
just at least start being curious about maybe considering a better life, a happier life.
yeah,
Because once they start being curious, they might just start to incline their ear to listen to the right piece of information and stop listening
absolutely.
to the noise. You know what I'm saying? Because that there's no end, but there is some good information. That's what we want to do here, and have extraordinary conversations with people like you. So thank you for that. What would you say, Katina, would be maybe three different things that a person can take away from this and start maybe applying right away that would help them develop the quality of resilience?
I would say number one is, you know, knowing where you want to go. I mean, without resilience and knowing where you want to go, or like, what is your ultimate goal here? You know, that's the first thing. You got to know what do you want to do in life? I don't care if you're 5, you're 6, you're 7. You know, when you're 5, you want to make sure, okay, I want to be on the honor roll when I'm in the third grade. I don't know. But you know, being able to know where you are, you got to know where you are and who you are as a person, which leads to a whole nother topic of when you have, you know, others that are, you know, like beating you up with, you know, no self-worth or bullying or things like that, which is a whole nother topic. also sometimes kids lose that, but as adults, you got to know your worth. You got to know where do you want to go and what are you looking for? And without it, you stay stagnant in that mindset. I think the second thing is that no matter, where you are in life, no matter, what job you have, your position in life or who you are, you stay humble to the fact that this is who I am. And I think I talked about this in the other one. Stay humble to who you are
Mm.
as an individual. Never change that for anyone or anything. And you keep moving with that. And whatever you have that you want in life, you continue to grow with that and don't change it. And the third one would be just being yourself. I don't know how many times I hear people say, well, I want to do what you're doing. I want to do the music. I want to do this, but how do you get there? You can tell a person how to get there, but they can't be like you. You can't give false intuitions of, okay, if I do music, you can do it too. You may not have that musical gift. Be who you are and find something that resonates with you. If you're a good writer, you build on that. I can't teach you how to write. Go out and find the ways and get the resources to do it. And I think just being your humbled, resilient self in life is the key. You can't be like everybody else. And I think that's killing us too. Everybody wants to be the next
Mm.
here and here, but you know what? You don't know what it took for them to get there. Are you willing to do the work to get there?
Yeah, you're gonna end up, time is gonna pass regardless
Yeah,
if you do something or not. You're going to have to deal with the consequences of doing or not doing it.
that's
So
right.
it's not like there's a neutral point there. You're either going to have to do the work of one or the work of the other. So I really encourage my listeners and my clients and so forth to really tap in to what they're passionate about. I wasn't a person that did that. I just went with what I thought maybe was the right thing to do as a young person when choosing my career or choosing, you're listening to all of these things. I never was in tune with dreaming. I always thought this was something kind of like foreign, like somebody who, I don't know, is being wishful or
Yeah,
fantasizing. And I'm like, why am I going to waste my time with that? I need to act. I need to go to work. I need to study. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't think it was
absolutely.
practical. But look at me. It was only after a certain age, decades later, that I realized the power of that, which is what you just said, is to have that
Yeah,
vision and to have that clarity and to tap in to what really connects with you, what you're passionate about. And that might mean that you might need to do research. I did research. I wasn't sure what it was.
absolutely.
And I allowed myself to have quiet moments, to have moments for myself where I could actually meditate and tap into my intuition, to my longing, my
Yes,
discontent, my past, and maybe the things that I did like about my previous career, for example, and things that I didn't. And little by little, that picture started to become clearer and clearer. And I was able then to go and find it. You just have to put the work in, and I'm telling you, you'll never ever ever regret doing it. It's not like you not
absolutely.
doing it. If you're not doing it, probably very likely you're going to regret it. If you do the, you're not going to regret it.
Right. I like that. I like that. That
Right?
is that is so true. That is absolutely so true. And I think another part of this I want to tap into with the resiliency part is that, and I think Andre said it best, like, do you feel like you have to, I'll say, dummy down when you have this motivation to do things 100% and find it and resource it and I like what he said because this resilient part of this is you don't do that for anybody. You tap into the resources, you find out the level of where you are and who you want to be, and you go with it. Are you willing to put in the work? If you're not, like you said, that's your decision, but you can't follow or be another person. You have to be yourself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that's the beauty of I think, creation and humanity, that although we're all
Yes.
humans, we're all
Yeah.
individuals, precious individuals. And the fact that we're here alive, which is love in itself,
Yes.
right? Manifested is that we have this power that was given us to live and to be us. And it's a beautiful thing. And we just have to embrace it and learn how to tap into all of that, those resources that are available to us, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Um, Katina, one last thing that you would like to maybe leave us with about resilience before we start closing.
I think that as far as being a resilient person, you really have to be able to have the desire, just the want. You know, you have to have the desire to whatever obstacle, blocks, positive, whatever that I mentioned before, you move past that. You find ways to get around it. If it's great, it's great. You know, if you want to build on something, you be resilient and you build on that. Don't ever let anyone or anything stop you from being that person to get to the next level.
Thank you so much. Katina, how can our listeners find you and see all of these different things that you're into right now? Because it's fascinating. Every time we talk, you share that you're involved in so many things and that you love each and every one of them. So tell us how they can come to you.
I am on Instagram under Model Beauty Katina Ann. Facebook, I'm under Katina Ann. And if the listeners would like to get my phone number or email, you guys can give it out to them as well.
That's awesome. Thank you so, so
You
much
are
for
so
being here
welcome.
with us today. Such a pleasure, such great
Thank you.
energy. Thank you. So, if you are listening to this, make sure that you follow Katina and with her different works that she's out there and putting it out there for you guys to enjoy and learn from her and get inspired. Make sure you like this episode and share it with your loved ones. Click the subscribe button so you can have much more content about finding a life that you truly love. And follow me on social media and on this channel. This show is being brought by Forever Living, which is the best aloe vera juice in the world that helped transform my wellness. It's also brought by the Through the Vine Wine Bar in Fort Lauderdale and produced by the I Am Beast Network. My name is Jessica Javens, and this is Jessica Javens Talk.
Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just to trick me, trick me, trick me, trick me. 'Cause baby girl, you are so easy, baby. The only reason that I can do tonight is 'cause I know you were invited. The only reason that this dress is skin tight is 'cause I thought that you would like it. I'm only gone for the secret outside because I want you to